Good afternoon, Yeladim, and welcome back for more children's Torah stories. We are still learning about King Shaul and David and the Plishtim and all the adventures that they are having together. And last time we had David and King Shaul becoming like friends again, and then David met Naval, and Naval didn't want to be friendly to him or didn't want to help him. And then Naval's wife, Abigail, who was so good, she really did help. And I told you that today we would hear what happened afterwards, because Abigail came to tell Naval later on. I think this was Naval, right? Abigail came to tell Naval later on, after Naval was saying, I didn't give them anything. And she said, well, actually, Naval, I did give them some food because they did help us so much. And they really weren't asking for a lot. And Naval got such a fright, kaplunk, that he fell down and he got sick. And a little while after that, he actually passed away. Meanwhile, back at the palace, King Shaul said to Michal, oh, Michal, by the way, I don't think you should be married to David anymore. But Dad, I love David. Of course I want to stay married to David. No, you shouldn't be married to David anymore. You should marry someone else instead. Dad, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Here's Palti. Go marry Palti. Palti, you and Michal are now married. Dad, I'm married to David, remember? No, I am the king, and I say that now you are married to Palti. Well, that's a bit of a funny situation. But in the meantime, Palti said, don't worry, Princess Michal. I know that you are really married to David. But let's not make King Shaul more cross and more cross. So let's pretend to get married. But when David comes back, you and David will be married again, okay? Okay, Palti, thank you for understanding. So that is what happened with them. In the meantime, in those days, even though a lady is only married to one husband, sometimes a man would have more than one wife. Now, we don't do that anymore today, but that used to happen sometimes in the old days. So that's why we had, for example, when we learned about Abraham, he was married to Sarah and he was married to Hagar. And when we learned about Yaakov actually had 4 wives. He was married to Rachel and to Leah and to Bilhah and to Zilpah. Well, with David, it's going to be the same thing. Even though David is married to Princess Michal, even though King Shaul didn't think so, David is actually going to marry someone else as well. And that other person David is going to marry is actually somebody that you have already met. It is none other than, ta-da, Abigail. Because after mean old Naval died, Abigail, who had been his wife, now wasn't married to anyone. And remember, Abigail, she's so fantastic. She is clever and kind and beautiful. She's amazing. And actually, after David heard that Naval died sometime later, David came along and he said, Abigail, I'm so sorry to hear about Naval. Thank you, David. Well, what are your plans for your life going forward? Well, I'm not really sure yet. I haven't decided. Well, why don't you marry me? I would love to marry you. You're so wonderful. Oh, thank you, David. The answer is yes. So David and Abigail did get married. Semen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov, mazel tov. So now David actually has 2 wives. He's married to 2 ladies. One of them close by, that's Abigail, and one of them far away, that is now Princess Michal. Well, now David went off again to go and to the area called Ziph in Israel, and he went to stay there for a bit with his different men. And meanwhile, back at the palace, King Shaul is getting cross and angry again. Oh man, King Shaul, why you always gotta be like that, dude? David told you he doesn't want to hurt you. He showed you the corner of your cloak, don't you remember? And then you said, I'm sorry, David, I'm sorry, you were right and I was wrong. But, I don't know, it's the sickness. And King Shaul started thinking, I wonder where David is. I bet he's trying to hurt me. I better find him and put him in jail. Hello, King Shaul. Yes, King Shaul. I found where David is hiding. Ah, fantastic. A blessing on your head for telling me where David is hiding. Let's go get him. And off they went to find where David was. He went out with thousands of people to go and find them. And David was again hiding up in the mountains over there, and he saw where King Shaul was. Now you may remember there was somebody we met a little while ago in the story of David and Goliath, and I told you that he would be important, and that is this giraffe. Well, he wasn't really a giraffe, he was really a person, but that is this giraffe called Avner. The reason Avner was so important is because Avner is the boss of Shaul's army. And so when Shaul comes out with his army, Avner is right there with him, helping make sure that the army does everything right. Now Avner and Shaul and their army are up by the land of Ziph in Israel, looking around for David. They looked the whole day, and then they started getting tired. So after they started getting tired, they went to lie down and they went to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry, Eladim, I fell asleep while I was telling you that part of the story. Let me try again. They went after a long, hard day. They went to lie down. Okay, now I'm going to try to stay awake. Well, what happened next was, while Shaul and Avner and other people from the army were sleeping, David crept out from where he had been hiding, and he could see that they were over there. And he started speaking to some of his guys. And the two guys that he was speaking, one was called Achimelech, and the other one was called Avishai. Now, Avishai is going to be important, but Avishai's brother is very important. Avishai's brother, I must find the right puppet for him. Let's use this one. Avishai's brother is a man called Yoav. Sheba, have you heard of anyone with that name? Yoav. So, Avishai's brother is a man called Yoav. And Yoav is the boss of all of David's guys. David doesn't exactly have an army yet. David's got 600 guys who fight with him. It kind of is a bit of an army. But Yoav was the boss of his army. So you have Avner, who is the boss of Shaul's army, and Yoav, who is the boss of David's army. And Yoav has a little brother called Avishai. And David, when I say little brother, he was like a teenager. And David and Avishai are looking down at the camp of Shaul, where Shaul is sleeping. And David says, okay, Achimelech and Avishai, I am going to sneak into King Shaul's camp while they're all sleeping. I will go quiet, so no one wakes up and notices me. Who will come with you? And Avishai said, I will come with you, David. I'm not scared. Let's go sneak in. It was so dangerous what they were doing because they're going into the middle of Shaul's army with thousands of soldiers. If one person wakes up, then they can catch David right away and put him in jail. So he needed to be very brave to try this. But Abishai said, I will come with you, David. So off the two of them go, down, 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 to where King Shaul and Avner were sleeping. Shh, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Quiet as a mouse. Shh, coming up closer. What was that? Quiet, 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 quiet. Quiet, quiet. Achoo! Quiet, quiet. And they managed to get all the way up to them while they were still fast asleep. And right next to King Shaul was his spear. You know what a spear is, Yeladim? Right next to King Shaul was his big spear. And Abishai saw it. And Abishai grabbed the spear. This is King Shaul's spear. Abishai grabbed the spear and he said, David, now is the time to take care of Shaul forever. I will just stab him with the spear and he will never bother you again. What do you think, Yeladim? Good idea or bad idea? Bad idea. David said, no, no, no. Absolutely no. I have told you, I will never hurt King Shaul. He is the king that Hashem made the boss of the whole Jewish people. I will be good to him and we will listen to him as much as we can. But we are not going to hurt him. If he ends up fighting against the Plishtim and dying or something like that, okay. But we can't hurt him. No, no, no. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's take the spear. And King Shaul also had a water bottle that he had right next to him. Let's take the spear and the water bottle and let's go sneak away again. And then I'll show you what we will do next. So that is what they did. They took the spear, they took King Shaul's water bottle, and off they went, sneaking quietly, quietly away, until they got outside of the camp again. And then David said, wakey, wakey, Avner, Avner, rise and shine. Time to get up and say Modani. What's going on? Who's shouting? Who's shouting like that? I am shouting like that. Avner, aren't you the boss of King Shaul's army? Of course I am. I am the boss of his army. Well then, how could you let someone come sneaking so close to the king that he even could have hurt him? What are you talking about? No one can sneak close to the king. We would catch them if they even tried. Oh, really? Well then, whose spear is this? What? What's going on? And whose water jug is this? Hey, that is Shaul's spear and Shaul's water jug. Yes, and somebody did sneak down, and they could have hurt King Shaul if they wanted. But guess what? They didn't want to. Meanwhile, with all of this, King Shaul woke up. David, is that you shouting? Yes, King Shaul, it's me. King Shaul, again, I am showing you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to do anything bad to you. Please just let me go. Oh, David, you are right. I am sorry. I know that you aren't trying to hurt me. I have been so silly, and please forgive me. I will never try to hurt you again. Okay, King Shaul, that's fine. Please, will you send someone so I can give them back your spear, and please don't come chase me again. Yes, of course. I will never chase you again, David. You are so good, and I'm sorry I was mean to you. And King Shaul and his army went home. But what do you think, Yeladim? Do you think that King Shaul is never going to chase David again? I also don't think so. I think David is still going to be in trouble. So you know what David did? He decided, I am going to go hide somewhere else. Because every time I hide in Israel, somebody comes and tells King Shaul, oh, there's David, there's David. I'm going to go hide again with the Plishtim. But don't you remember last time the Plishtim wanted to put him in jail, and the only way he got away was by pretending he was a jumping kangaroo banana? I've got a new plan this time. I'm going to go to the Plishtim, and I've got a plan so that they will want me to be on their side. Do you think that plan's going to work, Yeladim? I guess we will find out tomorrow. Bye!